Hello, Patriots, and welcome back to the Patriot Dad channel. Today, we're going to be doing a reaction to part 2 of Tom MacDonald's The Biggest Music Industry Screwjob Ever. The first part where they described how Billboard screwed them out of being on the top of the charts for the release of their Brave album. That reaction can be found right here. Now, let's get this one pulled up and get into it.
Welcome to part 2 of the biggest industry screw job ever. Now, I've got good news, I've got shocking news, and I've got bad news. Here's a quick recap. Unlike everybody else, the physical copies of our new album, The Brave, will not be counted towards the Billboard charts.
Hey guys, if you want to see the full review of what happened, go watch the original video. Go watch our reaction to the original video. It's crazy how much those data collection companies screwed them over.
The good news is we are #1 independently.
Oh, digital album, current R&B, a hip hop album, current digital album, current album sales, current rap albums, top albums with TEA. Anyone? Leave a comment. Album sales, record label, independent, current album.
On 8 different Billboard charts with our new album, The Brave. And that doesn't even include solo artist charts. That's just album charts. It's pretty crazy. Billboard even wrote an article about how incredible we did. So first and foremost, thank you. This is an incredible feat to accomplish for any artist, even major label artists. And we did it independently. And when I say we, I mean me and Adam and Nova and all of you guys. The 8 #1s you see on the charts right now only exist solely because of you. I pointed out what I felt like were injustices. I let you guys know that I felt like we weren't being given a fair shake. And all of you rallied with me. This is literally what raging against the machine can accomplish.
Oh, yeah, whatever you do, Tom. However, please never rage on behalf of the machine. Such a shame what happened with them.
The most valuable tool of change is one very simple thing: information. I gave you all the information I had about how they were doing us dirty and screwing us on these charts. And let me be very clear, we did not get the change that we were after, but we made a massive impact. And speaking of powerful information, I have more for you. Let's get into the bad and shocking news, shall we? First of all, y'all remember that data collection company we were talking about? The one who reports all of our downloads, streams, and views to Billboard? The one who refused to count our physical albums towards these charts? Well, that data company and Billboard are both owned by the same global media company.
Oh my God. I don't know what you even say about that. Like, this consolidation of media companies, guys, it just destroys competition. It's probably one of the reasons that antitrust law exists. Monopolies do this. Monopolies shut out competitors. I hate to say maybe government might have a role in fixing this, but I don't know if they necessarily do. If you've watched anything from Javier Milei down in Argentina, look, guys, this can fix itself. Just be better. Do better. And it sounds like him and Adam did. They got to the top of 8 charts, even with this in place. At some point, it becomes irrelevant. At some point, the people are going to say Billboard is just unreliable, and it will be an opportunity for a company that isn't biased like this to come up and do better.
I just found that out, which explains why Billboard took 0 action when we reported to them that the data collection company was refusing to count our physical sales. We just gotta suck it up and move on. And like I said in my last video, I don't really have a problem with Billboard. Billboard's always treated us really good, but I'd be lying if I said when I found out that they were a part of a massively dysfunctional system that it wasn't extremely frustrating and disheartening.
Oh,
Billboard, yeah. I am hella disappointed in you. Anyway, let's get into the specifics about the charts that were released today. Remember that article I talked about that Billboard released about how incredibly successful our new album was? Check this out. It says, and I quote, Tom MacDonald and Adam Calhoun's The Brave bows at #1 on Billboard's top album sales charts, selling 16,000 copies in the US in the week ending March 10th, according to the data collection company. Now, note that they are only referencing digital copies when they're talking about these 16,000 units. It goes on to say this. Elsewhere in the top 10 of top album sales, Dolly Parton's new Run Rose Run starts at #2. One Direction's former #1, 4, re-enters at #3 after a new vinyl release. Now, further down in the article, they reference Dolly Parton and One Direction again. Also, shout out to Dolly Parton. She is a badass and a legend.
Yes. And she's one of those celebrities that helps out her local community. She does a ton of charity work down in Tennessee. If you ever have a chance to go to Dollywood, do it. It was a lot of fun. Went there with my family. Guys, Dolly Parton, shout out. Good work. Maybe I should do a reaction to some of her songs. I haven't done any out. No, I haven't. We should do one.
And my girlfriend Nova loves Nick Jonas, so shout out to One Direction too. Or did Nick Jonas in the Jonas? Whatever, who cares? Anyway, and I quote, of Run Run Rose's 15,500 copies sold, physical sales comprise of 11,500 and digital sales comprise of 4,000. One Direction, who Nick Jonas is not in, One Direction's former number one 4 returns to top album sales, re-entering at number 3 after a new red vinyl pressing was released exclusively via Urban Outfitters. In total, in the week ending March 10th, 4 sold 9,000 copies, nearly all from vinyl sales. So
I'm sure he's about to get to this, but that's crazy because if you look at both of their digital sales numbers, they were less than their physical sales. I'd be interested to see if he's going to tell us what his physical sales were, but they crushed their vinyl sales with digital sales.
they're counting Dolly Parton's physical CD sales, and they're counting One Direction's vinyl sales.
Yes.
But they're refusing to count mine and Adam Calhoun's physical CD sales for the Brave?
Correct.
Real freaking cool, guys. Real cool. Now, you might be wondering, Tom, I get it. They wouldn't count your physical CDs, and that's a pain in the butt. But how big of a difference would that really make? Aha! Let me tell you exactly how big of a difference that would make. At the beginning of this video, I told you about the 8 number ones that our new album, The Brave, had racked up. However, there are 2 very important charts that I did not mention. The Billboard Top 200 album chart and the Billboard Independent Albums chart. Let's get into how we did on those charts, shall we? First, let's look at the Billboard Top 200 charts. Easily the most prestigious of all Billboard album charts. Our new album, The Brave, charted at 14. Had our physical albums been accounted for, we would have landed at number 2, with less than 2,000 units separating us from the number 1 spot.
Wow. That's actually very impressive. Good work to Tom and Adam. Both of their music is wonderful. Check them out for sure.
On the most prestigious Billboard album chart in existence. That's a difference of 12 very important spots.
Yeah.
And that's a big friggin' deal, dude. Furthermore, we had planned to release our physical albums and our digital albums on the same day weeks ago. But because of our extremely long, frustrating, and ultimately pointless conversation with the data collection company, we were forced to change an entire 6-week campaign and release our digital albums and physical albums on different dates. Now, this is the craziest part to me. Let's take a look at the Billboard Independent Album charts. Our new album, The Brave, charted at number 4. You might be wondering, how is the biggest independent album with 8 number ones 4th on the independent album charts? Well, I'll tell you. But first you have to understand how Billboard defines independent.
Oh.
And
How do you think they define independent? They just aren't a member of like MGM or Sony or one of these big companies? What do you guys think?
I quote, though not clearly defined, an independent record label is generally considered to be any label that is not part of the big 3 record companies, which consist of Sony Music Entertainment, Warner Music Group, and Universal Music Group. Okay. Billboard cites the following definition for use on their top independent albums charts. For Billboard charting purposes, defining an independent album is done on a title level and based on its distribution. Okay. If an album is sold by an independent distributor, or one of the major labels' independent distribution arms, it is classified as an independent title and can chart on our top independent albums tally.
Wait, they're allowed to distribute from their own independent album arms and it counts, even if it's part of the top 3. That's psychotically crazy. That's not even serious. How do you take that seriously, guys?
What? Note that this definition does not exclude record labels owned by other large corporations from being classified as independent. Okay, buddy. You can't make this stuff up. You could not write this if you tried. I mean, apparently they did try and they wrote it and there it is, and it's horse hockey.
It is ridiculous. It's a word I can't say mostly on the internet, and we all know it. And hopefully more people learn it and they treat the Billboard charts as they should, which is less and less relevant over time.
So to top the independent albums charts, you don't even have to be independent. You know, this whole thing is wrapped up in so much bureaucracy and BS and parent companies and conglomerates.
And guys, this is where there is a chance for a new company who isn't this way to come in and start building relevance and start giving awards that actually mean something. That's how these monopolies lose power and lose relevance, because we all start learning that the information they're putting out is crap. So there is an opportunity there for a company to come up and start giving awards and start doing things that actually have relevance, that aren't complete BS. And I hope that happens, because it sounds like the Billboard just needs to go.
And monopolies and blah, blah, blah. It's like, can we just admit at this point that the game is rigged? Major labels and mainstream artists have the entire industry on lock. Can't you just give the independent awards to the truly independent artists?
I think we just need to have independent awards that are actually independent of the industry. That seems to be the answer here.
This is the independent albums charts. You can do your own research on the chart, but in my mind, you don't have to look any further than number 1. Encanto, distributed by Disney. Disney's independent? Seriously?
Yeah.
Walt f***ing Disney? Disney's net worth is $97 billion. They have their own streaming channel on Apple TV. They're one of the most renowned household names on planet Earth.
In media, by the way. In media.
And you're telling me that it's appropriate that Walt Disney competes with us on the same charts? So your answer is, our new album, The Brave, is number 4 on the independent album charts, because in no way, shape, or form do these charts accurately represent truly independent artists. The independent artists who write their own music, produce their own music, release their own music, invest all of their time, money, and energy into the success of their own music without any help from any record label of any kind. And no 97 billion Disney dollars either. So don't get me wrong, these 8 number 1s are extremely cool. It's a demonstration of how powerful people are when they're up against the machine. But as cool as these 8 number 1s may be, they are not the Billboard Top 200. And to go number 1 or number 2 or even top 5 on the Billboard Top 200 can have a real major positive impact on an independent artist's career. These 8 number 1s are the industry's way of acknowledging the absolute bare minimum and expecting us to dance around our living rooms in celebration. Look,
Yeah, and I'm with them. Like, it's disappointing, right, that they lost those spots on the top 200 that they definitely deserved. But guys, they don't want independent people to be successful. If independent people are successful without the industry, then the industry starts to lose relevance. If the industry loses relevance, the industry loses dollars. The Billboard is not going to support that, which is why I said this is a really good opportunity for an independent or smaller company. Yes, it won't have the impact of the Billboard chart, at least not yet, but just like getting him to the top of the 8 of the charts takes time, but we can start to have a real impact as people and start making a real difference with these big conglomerate companies. But that'll never happen if nobody ever tries. It might take a couple of attempts, but all good things in life come to those who work hard and work hard over time and just keep putting in the work. So I think somebody will do this and somebody will benefit greatly.
Bare minimum and expecting us to dance around our living rooms in celebration. Look, I'm not being ungrateful, but looking at something from the outside in doesn't always give you an accurate picture of the situation. You can use this quote across the many varied situations that you'll encounter in life. If we celebrate the crumbs, then it is crumbs that we are given. So instead of celebrating, I will just say that I am extremely proud of all of us rising to the occasion together. I will say that I am incredibly thankful for each and every single one of you who joined me in this charge against the mainstream music industry. I will say that I will forever cherish these accolades and look back at this situation as a massive success. But I will not celebrate a small victory when we were screwed out of the opportunity to win the war. So the fight continues for all independent musicians everywhere. And the fight will continue until we're given the same appreciation, respect, and acknowledgement that all of the major label artists are given by the powers that be who have deemed them worthy. The music industry has once again found a way to screw the little guy. But that's not a reason to stop. It's a reason to go. One way or another, there will be a positive revolution within the music industry in regards to independent artists.
Hey guys, this is where there's going to be a call to action. Like I stated earlier, there needs to be an independent or a smaller company that is created to start doing this work, because you are not going to get the Billboard or any of these large media conglomerates to do that work. They're not charity groups. They're there to make a profit. And if it's going to impact their bottom line, most of them are publicly traded companies. They can't do it. You need a private new company to come up and have a better idea and to be more transparent, be more real and authentic, or whatever you want to call it. But it's going to take an outside force. The Billboard and the music industry aren't going to do it.
And we'll be able to look back on these videos and this situation and this point in time, and we'll be able to say, hey, I was integral in that. We were the torchbearers that started that revolution. No matter how many losses it takes to get there, we're part of history. Congratulations to everybody out there on these 8 number ones. It's an incredible achievement. I love you all. Thank you once again. It's Hangover Gang forever. Peace.
Hangover Gang. Yeah, guys. Like he was saying, it's going to take a revolution. That revolution is going to come in the form of a new company that does awards and rankings. It's going to have to. Publicly traded companies are not going to make decisions that are going to negatively impact their bottom line. Their board of directors will get sued. Their CEO and their whole C-suite is going to get replaced. Guys, I know it sounds good, and I really hope there is an outside force that makes this change because it sounds like it needs to happen. These 2 videos have been a rude awakening when it comes to how things work in the background of these companies. But we need to be realistic. That change is not going to come from the industry itself. So I really do hope that somebody has that idea and they take it and run with it, because in the end, there can be an independent rating agency. It's just not going to be from within Billboard. Because if you're truly independent, they can't make that money off of you. They need you to be part of that machine so that they can collect their fees. Thank you to everybody that made it to the end of this video. I greatly appreciate your support. If you're looking for ways to support the channel, head on over to coffeebrandcoffee.com, peruse their selection of coffee, tea, and cocos. Select something that you like, purchase it, and use our promo code when making your purchase. If you're looking for a free way to support the channel, please make sure to like the video, share the video with friends and family, leave a comment on the video, and subscribe to the channel. All of those help out with the algorithm, and when you help out with the algorithm, it enables me to bring you more content in the future. You can go over to the Discord and join the conversations going on there, and you can head on over to X and follow us at patriotdad_USA. Either one of those allow you to directly interact with me. Just please be patient with me as you realize I am still a single father of 2 working a full-time job, so my free time is limited. You can also find me on Tuesday nights in a space on X with the Questionable Gardener and others. I also run a weekly live stream Saturday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, where I go over the news from the week. I look forward to seeing you there. I look forward to seeing you in the Discord and on X. Have a wonderful week. Take care of yourselves, everyone, and God bless. Go ahead and check out one of the links on the screen now to either subscribe to the channel and see the rest of the videos of the channel, or one of the carefully selected videos that you may wish to see that YouTube has used its algorithm to select for you.